All right. Welcome to the Tree and Stormwater Advisory Board, Wednesday, May 13th. Calling to order the meeting for this evening. First item is public comment. Brian, do you have anything?
Nothing was passed along to me. I mean, the only thing I guess I encountered, a couple questions on a couple trees on if it's alive or dead, essentially. So we kind of did a little bit of not consulting, but just a little advisory of should you take it down, will it be okay? But, so that's kind of a little public service thing. So.
All right.
I work with Mike at City Hall, so
No comment? Okay. And with that, we'll go on to tree reports then.
Okay. Good evening. And for tree reports, Arbor Day Tree City USA, we are officially awarded 31 consecutive years. So it's our 31st year. And then Mid-American Trees Please grant, we are officially awarded $1,000 for Centennial Park. Those trees will be going along the South Trail in that park. And then Arbor Day was April 24th, and I believe we had the proclamation on that. And then Emerald Ash Borer treatment, those are done. I do those myself. We kind of use a surfactant in our mixture this year, and what we've kind of been gathering some data on using the specific surfactant. It allows the product to be absorbed a lot easier. And what we're finding that people are getting a 2-year control instead of a 1-year control. So that's kind of exciting news because we could, I guess, do it one of two ways. We could apply our product to twice as many trees and just alternate them every year, or cut our product cost in half, treat the same amount of trees, and do it half as long, which is kind of cool. So we'll keep following the data on that one. Other tree topics, we had Heritage Christian School Service Day. That was May 8th. That was last Friday. It's where that school comes out and they do a community service project. They went to the rec center and mulched trees out there. They also went to Cornerstone, which is the location that I was at, and they hauled brush out of the little timber area, that nature area, and they mulched the little footpaths throughout there. They did a great job. So a big shout out to Heritage Christian. What took 3 adult men 4 hours to cut up, they hauled out in like an hour and a half. It was pretty impressive. So what we cut out is a lot of invasives in that area, like honeysuckle is one of the big ones. And what we found out is as we were cutting all that out and kind of clearing it, we actually found a lot of young ash trees. So it's kind of a cool thing to see. They're all about chest high, head high, 5'6" foot tall, which is cool because we're obviously seeing the regrowth from emerald ash borer coming through. Unfortunately, that was one of those spaces that we can't really apply our product to. It's just difficult to get into a timbered area like that. So those trees are kind of left to their demise, and there's actually one giant ash tree in the middle of that park. And what we're seeing is when those trees die, they produce a lot of seed. And I think that's what we're seeing right now when we cut all the underbrush away and clear it for sunlight coming through, is we're seeing a lot of those little saplings coming up, which is pretty cool.
So you're just going to kind of let them go?
Yeah, I think we're going to let them go. I've got a couple trees kind of on the outside of that timber stand, kind of along the trail that walks through there. I'll probably start treating those just because they're provide shade to the trail and that kind of thing. But again, with the surfactant and the 2-year control now, I mean, we may be able to go in there and apply those every other year. Expand our treatment. And then what else did I got on here? We did shade tree short course in February. It's kind of our continuing education. We actually go to Ames and we take a bunch of classes. And there's an opportunity there to take the certified arborist exam, which I took a crack at it, and I'm happy to report that I am now a certified arborist. So,
all right, congrats.
Nice. That was a big accomplishment for me. So, and then you do Muddy Creek,
yeah, I can talk about that.
and then rest will be Mike.
One more thing on the ash borer. You
Oh, yeah.
mentioned the treatment lasting longer. What have you seen as now that we have leaf out? Has there?
Oh, yeah. I think our stuff's holding pretty strong. I've got one tree that's kind of suspect. It was in a very heavily infested area. So that one, with it being the only tree alive in the area, where do you think the bug's going to go? Right. And again, I've mentioned in the past, unfortunately, when you do this product, it's a systemic. So it goes through the roots, goes up through the inside of the tree. Then the bug comes along, eats it, and dies. Well, you're going to incur some damage when that happens because that's how you get the product inside the insect. It has to feed on the tree. So with us being the only live ash tree in the area, they're all coming to ours. So well, I gave it a little boost of fertilizer. We'll see if it can kind of bounce back from it. But
As long as we're on the ash borer subject, you're talking about treating cities' trees.
cities trees,
right?
yes.
Individuals need to do what they need to
They
do.
need to
with
do
their
what they
own.
do on their own.
And so
We
what
won't
are they
treat
choosing
those.
to do? Are people just letting them die and removing it?
Unfortunately, that's what most people are doing. They're just letting them die, just cutting them and picking a different species is what they're doing.
Okay. And this product is having success, I assume?
Yes, yeah, we've been treating, over 10 years, I think I've been doing it.
And how many trees do you
Right now, I treat about 47 trees throughout the city.
And those are all mature ash
Those
trees?
are all full mature ash trees. Our biggest one is at Penn Meadows Park next to the playground. It's a 35-inch 35-inch tree, that massive one next to the playground. We're definitely trying to keep that alive. That's what we call one of our legacy trees, high value tree.
So what's the end game? I mean, will these bugs eventually disappear?
That data is still being compiled. That's the hope, is that once the wave kind of pushes through, it won't come back. It's just going to keep on going to the coast. But we'll have to see what the data says. One of the great things about Iowa and how good that Iowa as a whole and the DNR, that work on this, we're great at slowing down the problem. Once it hit Iowa borders, we've really slowed the progress, whereas other states, it would take 2-3 years to be across the state. It's been 5-6 years, and it's just now reaching kind of the western border and kind of moving on. So we've really slowed down the progress and allowed for people to find solutions to kind of combat that pest.
So the plan is to keep at the
Yeah,
treating
the plan
as long
is
as it needs
to keep at it, and we'll keep going until the bug has passed. Or I guess the other side of the coin is potentially it won't pass, and sometimes your tree will succumb to the pest anyways with enough damage. But I guess we look at it in the way of, well, if I treated for 15 years and got 15 years of enjoyment out of it, that's kind of money well spent.
Okay.
So.
Is it so? It's expensive, but not horribly so.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I don't know the exact cost of it. You'd have to ask a guy on that one. But for about a 200-gallon tank mix, we're talking probably a couple $100.
Okay.
I would say. And then with our surfactant on there, a little bit higher than that.
Okay.
On a per tree application, we're probably spending probably anywhere $10-15 per tree is about where I'm at. But
So that's
yeah,
not-
you'd have to get the exact number.
So if a property owner wanted to treat their tree,
yeah.
do we help with that, or just they're on their own with finding
yeah, they're on their own.
on
I
their
mean,
own certified arborist?
Yeah. I mean, we can give suggestions on what we use. We use a
Okay.
product called Safari, is the one we're doing now. Imidacloprid is an active ingredient that will also work. It doesn't have, at least the data doesn't show that it has as long of a residual as the Safari. Sometimes a lot of these, to apply it yourself, you have to be a certified applicator, is the unfortunate part. But there are kind of little loopholes in the law that if you're a homeowner, and as long as you're applying it to your own tree, that you're
Okay.
perfectly legal to.
So is it hard to do?
No, it just gives you a proper mix ratios. Mix it up. You can mix it up in 5-gallon bucket if you want with water. Mix it up, pour it at the base of the tree.
Oh, you just dump it.
Off you
Oh.
go. You just dump it on. It's not like you have to spray it in the leaves
Yeah.
or anything.
Okay.
Our surfactant that I was mentioning earlier, it's kind of a bark penetrant too. So what that does is I can spray it on the bark itself. it penetrates through the bark, and then the rest runs off and
Okay.
goes through the root system.
Okay.
So it's kind of attacking it from two different
Okay.
angles, the roots and the bark as well.
Okay,
So,
thanks.
yeah,
All right.
On to
I
me.
think that's
On
you.
to Muddy Creek, Mike.
All right, Muddy Creek cleanup this year. April 11th, that was. 2 truckloads were taken out, which is good. That's about the norm anymore. We get to it every year, so we keep it pretty regular how much we get out of there. 2 people did find $5. So if you had any question about going, there is a potential to make some income off of this. So I would suggest just coming out and looking for that money. Let's see, they released rainbow trout on March 20th. I wasn't there for that. I think usually they do a good few thousand of them in there. Just pump it right out of the truck. It's pretty fun to watch. And usually the crowds are pretty large with like 400 fishing poles in the water as trying to get them as they're coming off the truck.
Right out of the tube, they're throwing a line in,
Yeah.
trying to grab it. It's like, really? Give them 10 seconds.
Yeah, let them get set
Enjoy
up a
some
little
freedom.
bit.
It's all fun. All fun.
And then we had, none of my items came up on the agenda. We're working with a new system here or software, so we're still trying to get the bugs out of that. I just had a couple of other things. The Middle Iowa Watershed Management Authority grant that we were working with has been completed, so we have a final draft of that, which we'll use to take to community events within the watershed to help educate landowners, citizens, what they can do to be involved, how they can get a hold of some of the funding that may be available for some projects in the area. That usually will set up, anywhere from 5 to 20, we'll say, meet and greets or luncheons or just small events throughout the watershed at different areas, anywhere from a farmer's barn to, Elks Club lodges, stuff like that, and just have information for people that might be interested in taking advantage of some of these programs that are out there to install some practices on their property. We usually have pretty good luck. We'll get quite a few projects put in out there. It's just a good way to meet people, get the word out there, and find some people that are interested in doing it, and every little bit helps. So we're hoping to get that off and running and get some projects started here in the next year or two in the watershed. Another thing we had last month, a citizen contacted and said they picked up some trash out of a pond and had a couple garbage bags and wanted to know what she could do with those. I just wanted to remind everyone that we do have a program here that if it's something that your community or your neighborhood wants to do, cleaning up the trails, the ponds, anything around, just give me a call, I think, or give Parks Department a call. We can provide you with garbage bags, gloves, pretty much anything you need, and then we'll come pick up all the trash, and then we'll take care of it for you. So that's something available to everyone. And it's just when this resident called, she wasn't aware of it, so it's just kind of a reminder that we'll do that. We've got all the supplies. We encourage neighborhoods to come together, do some cleanup. It can be anytime you guys want to do it. We'll get you set up with what you need to do, and we'll pick up all the trash when you're done. And I think that's a pretty good program, and I hope, we see a little more of it, maybe if we get the word out a little better. And I guess I don't have a whole lot, just been doing some inspections around through the department lately, and watching some construction and trying to keep it moving on.
I know this is always an issue in mowing season, the grass on the roads. I saw one very bad instance of that as I was driving by, and so I was just wondering how that was going overall, if you're still seeing a lot of that, or...
Pretty much the same as always. I've probably personally talked to most of the houses you see the grass blown into the street. I've either talked with or left information with, and it's just kind of a, no big deal. So it's, I'm not sure, I think it's within our ordinance that is illegal to do. The process of, reprimanding is quite lengthy. It's kind of just keep knocking on doors is probably the best way to do it. Maybe they'll finally come around to it.
All right. Next up is any old business. Anyone's got anything from prior? And if nothing old, anything new that anyone wants to bring up? And if nothing new, we will go to approval of the minutes from the last meeting in January, a little bit longer time span than normal. Okay, we can do that. And so the next meeting, as you speak of it, we'll move on to is August 12th, 2026 at 7 p.m. I hope that's accurate information. I didn't double check that. But, so I guess we'll plan to see everyone else then. If I can get a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
And second?
All right.
All right.